Hi guys.
You're welcome to another episode of the Showbiz Campus Masterclasses.
Hi guys. You're welcome back to the Showbiz Campus Masterclasses. And guess who I have in the studio with me today? It's the amazing, the wonderful, noisy Naija Paediatrician. If you don't know who this guy is, I don't know where you live, I don't know under what rock you've been, I don't know if you use social media, but and it's funny, even those of us who don't have a ton of kids or don't have kids at all, his content is still so relatable, and you're either taking down notes for when you have kids or you can relate to some of the stuff because you have godchildren or younger siblings or whatever. But it's such an honor to do this with you.
Namaste. Thank you very much, Flix, for having me. Good day, panel of judges.
Oh my God.
Timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my fellow viewers at home. My names are...
Tell us what your names are. That was my first question, actually.
So, Dr. Ayodele Rena, the noisy Naija Paediatrician.
So, Dr. Rena is so... I'll call you Dr. Rena because noisy Naija Paediatrician is such a mouthful.
It's a mouthful.
But Dr. Rana, it's so great to have you here. And when I was doing these conversations, you were one of the first people I was like, nah, I have to understand how we got here. Because I'm like, I don't understand, surely your relatives think that you're an actual doctor that sees actual patients. How did we get here?
It's crazy. So first of all, I'm so flattered that you think that people know me. Wow, because it's okay. Sometimes I get randomly recognized on the road and I am still not used to it. I'm like, oh, you know who I am? So that feels good, actually. I won't lie to you. So how I got here, my relatives, they are actually tired of me.
They must be.
They are tired of me because if you see my shenanigans, sometimes if I'm not jumping on the couch, I'm dancing beside the pumping machine in my compound.
Or your we know your compound.
Yeah, you know my compound.
All the content.
Yes. So my neighbors as well are like, is it a ritual he's performing? They are not sure. Should they call the pastor to cleanse the house? Though humor has always been part of my life, quite frankly.
Obviously.
So because you really have got to be able to laugh at the situations you find yourself in. If not, life will really be miserable. So that really has been my mantra, and it translated into my profession. Why not?
How did you get into content?
Content creation for me came relatively by accident. I had an Instagram account maybe since 2015, but it was just occasional photographs. Then a lawyer, one of your lawyers, actually asked me, and she was like, okay, if I want to exclusively breastfeed my baby, maybe I can give water. And in my mind, I was like, no, when you're exclusively breastfeeding, that you should actually just give breast milk. No need for water, because breast milk is 80% water. So I was like, if a lawyer with a master's degree doesn't know that, then I think I need to get the word out. And so I started creating content on Instagram. And so initially when I started, I was just talking, you should give your general stuff. You should give your child water. But I realized that there were so many content creators that I was engaging with because their content was funny. So I said to myself, I think I have the chops for some comedy, so why don't I just do it? And then the funny part now came, and it's been, no looking back ever since.
So tell us a bit about, your background. Did you always know you wanted to be a doctor? How did you choose a specialty?
You'd be surprised. I wanted to be a lawyer.
This makes perfect sense because the way you engage with my content, I'm like, this is this interest is more than ordinary. It's not just how does this help my work? You're really fascinated with the cases I post about.
I genuinely am. A fantastic work that you're doing as well, because there is no aspect of our life that does not involve the law. So yes, I wanted to be a lawyer, but I was encouraged to become a doctor, by another lawyer who said, my dear, Sakwa will finish you. You should don't go and study medicine, because medicine was kind of safe, right? And because she felt like I had, the chops for everything, I was very brilliant and said, okay, so you can do absolutely anything. So first love is law, but I ended up becoming a doctor. My father is actually a doctor. So I'm a pediatrician, actually.
Oh.
So I'm a second generation pediatrician.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Welcome to the club. I'm a second generation lawyer.
Well done. We are aware.
So when you decided to be a doctor, I imagine it was a no-brainer that you chose to be a pediatrician.
Well, no, funny enough, I wanted to be a surgeon, actually. But when I now finally went to medical school and went through the process and realized that the surgeons had an ego that was bigger than the hospital itself. And the pediatricians just seemed a bit more interested in actually mentoring the medical students and making them be heard.
Oh.
So I said to myself, okay, pediatrics seems to be the way to go. Because if left to what I was, seeing my father do, I really didn't want to become a pediatrician, because he always brought textbooks back from home. And if you see the conditions that were displayed in those textbooks,
yes.
I was like, I'm not going to go anywhere near this. Even as a child, instinctively, I just knew that when my father comes in from work, don't hug him because he's carrying microorganisms on him. But yes, it was just the pediatricians just mentored us, and I think that really drew me to them.
Oh, that's nice. So would you say, before we go into the content part, would you say that being a pediatrician, you need to have a little more empathy than probably even like the other doctors?
So I would say so, actually. I think you do need to have a bit more empathy, a bit more patience as a pediatrician, because
your patients can't really
talk. Yes, your patients can't
themselves.
really talk, and sometimes you actually take a decision that really was not correct. Your patient can't really complain, and it's only what you tell their parents that they will know. Unlike an adult can say that this is what they gave me, or can ask you, what drug did you give me?
Or what does this do?
Or what does this do? So you really do need to practice pediatrics with a bit more conscience than you would with an adult. And I think if there was a calling in any of the medical specialties, I think it's actually pediatrics.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a calling.
Yes.
So okay, you've told us how you started doing content. What sort of roadblocks have you encountered with content?
Well, with creating content, fortunately, I'd say that it's been a relatively smooth journey. Yes, for me. But the algorithm is my number one enemy. I don't know who he is, but if I catch him,
please, when you catch him, help me deal with it, because
if I catch
if I don't tire
it's a public threat for this algorithm. So the algorithm can be a bit wonky. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, Then, fortunately, I've had quite a lot of support, even from the medical community, because I thought that some people would actually tell me that, no, you can't be doing this. You're a consultant. Yes, a consultant. But I'll jump on my couch. Anyway, it's not your couch. But they've been very supportive, actually. So nobody has actually said yes. So, I think those are the few roadblocks. Then sometimes the creative juices don't always flow, the way maybe. Sometimes on days you're very creative, on some other days.
Yes,
you're getting to your own stuff. On some other days, you're not, so but all in all, I think it's been a good journey.
That's really great. And some of us, when we're having a rough day, just when you pop up on our feed, we're like laughing hysterically, and it really so please don't ever stop.
I'm really
if you ever think, okay, I want to walk away from this, please remember some of us depend on your content.
Thank you. It makes me want to continue making the content. Comments like this. Thank you, please.
And I've seen a lot of very useful conversations in the comments. I not only like the fact that, the knowledge that you're sharing is helping, mothers be better mothers, or helping them, better care for their children. But I also like the fact that in the comment section, some mom is like, oh my God, I've tried this, I've tried that, I'm so tired of this, it's so frustrating. And somebody comes and is like, actually, this is what you need to do. My daughter did the exact same thing. Don't worry, you'll be all right.
Exactly.
And, I've seen so many exchanges like that. I've even actually commented below some of those kind of messages. And it just it shows you that, social media isn't just social media.
It isn't.
You're building a community, and you're actually affecting people's lives directly.
Exactly. So I do think that 3/4 of why I enjoy my comment section really is interaction between mothers. It's like a town hall, where they actually come and then they interact with one another. And I find that what a lot of the mothers say is that sometimes the information that I present to them actually is something that some of them already actually knew. But what they tell me is that apart from the health information, it makes parenting a bit easier for them.
Yes, and they relax. They feel like,
Okay, so
I'm not doing it wrong. Especially when they see other people saying, your own is still good. If you see my
so they feel like, so you mean somebody else is going through this, and then they laugh at situations that were genuinely stressful for them. And then they see that, he look how funny he has made it look. And then the toddler doesn't seem so terrifying anymore.
Yeah. That's such an amazing thing. If you had to, give advice to, like, say if a young doctor came to you and said, I really like what you're doing, and, I want to do like medical content, or if, any professional, wants to get into content creating, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say, like with every other thing in life, consistency is key. So be consistent. I always say that consistently doing the right thing, let me qualify it, because we can consistently doing nonsense. So consistently doing the right thing is key. And I think if you actually turn up and show up every day, despite the fact that you feel like you can't go on, like you don't want to go on, please just turn up, make the content, and create value, and you'll be found wherever you are.
If you had to sort of say one thing that you would do differently, or that you would advise someone to do differently, what would it be? Something that maybe like you didn't necessarily handle in the best way because you were also learning on the job.
Well, first of all, I think if I had to do this all over again, I really would still become a lawyer. I really.
Oh, really?
Yes. If I had to do it all over again, I would become a lawyer, because I would have made a fantastic lawyer. Honestly, I feel like I'd have been a great lawyer as long as there was money involved. So that's one. Then I'd say the other thing, in my profession wise, I don't think I have any regrets with pediatrics. Pediatrics, I think, has managed to show me as much love as I can get from a profession like that.
That's nice.
So really, at the end of the day, I think it's really just studying law that I think I should have just perhaps stuck with. So it's not too late, right?
Never ever too late. Ever. When I was in law school, we had this classmate who was in his 70s. Yes.
Wait till they find.
And he got a first, by the way.
For real?
Mm-hmm. He did really well.
I'm sure he's not football age. Quite 70s.
No, we saw him with his grey, and he looked like someone's granddad. He looked like someone's granddad.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I think there's nothing you can't learn if you put your mind to it.
So, I was going through Instagram and I heard that actually Vera Wang didn't design her first wedding gown until she was in her 40s or something interesting like that.
There you go.
Okay,
so what would you say drives you?
That's a very important question.
Yeah.
I think, you see, and this might sound cheesy, but if you listen to Climb Every Mountain, this song, it's like, a dream that will need all the love you can give.
All these people that have multiple talents, they will not let us hear word now. Could you sing for us?
A dream that will need all the love you can give every day of your life for as long as you live. So if you find that thing that even if they didn't pay you for it, you'd be happy to do it at 3 a.m. in the morning.
That makes sense.
That is what drives me, and for me, really, that is pediatrics. I'd be happy to do it, and funny enough, just to see people smile and just relate to the information I'm putting out there, I think that just gives me all the joy in the world. It drives me.
I think sometimes, you get I understand that as the generations are going, the economy seems to be getting worse, and it's so much harder to make an honest living. So I get it sometimes, but I find that if you pick a career or you pick a job just for the money, you eventually you would want a pay rise. If you don't get it, you probably want to leave the job.
You leave the job, yeah.
And I know that this is not a hard and fast rule. There are some jobs that pay blood money, and some people will be happy to do it.
And they'll be miserably happy
to collect that money.
They died there.
But of course, doing something that you find fulfilling, makes you happy, definitely makes a very big difference.
I think that drives you. That really should be one's driving force in every endeavor in life, really. Of course, there are some things that you have to do that you probably don't want to, but that's life, isn't it?
Yep, definitely, that's life. thank you so much
Oh,
for
the Lord.
coming here.
Flakes. High five.
Thank you for engaging with my content.
No, absolutely.
Thank
I
you.
genuinely enjoy your content because I think it's just because I think at heart also I'm an entertainer. So when I see people, talking about entertainment and making money for entertainment and protecting their agreements and their contracts in an entertainment setting, I'm like, this is information that everybody needs.
Yeah. So but thank you so much for coming and doing this, and please continue to give us content back to back.
Please invite me again.
We enjoy your content. No, you should be sure that we'll always invite you. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Flakes, for having me over.
So where can we find you on social media?
So my platform that is most engaged is actually Instagram. So you can find me on Instagram at the Noisy Naija Paediatrician. So you can find me on Instagram at the Noisy Naija Paediatrician, and then on Twitter at the Noisy Dr. Rena. So yeah.
So now you know where to find him on social media. Again, if you're not following him on Instagram, I don't know what you're doing with your social media. I don't know what you're doing on the app itself. Like, this is one of the people you have to be following. Like, his content is relatable, it's hilarious. And it's not just pediatric content as well. Like, some of the stuff, like, even you as an adult can benefit you. So please, follow, like, seriously. And I'm not just saying this because he's here. His content is hilarious. Like, sometimes I'm having a crap day and he pops up on my feed and I'm like, why does this man behave like this? Before you go, if any of your, viewers are crushing on you, I never asked if you're single or not. Like, if maybe someone that is following you wants to know if you're single, that kind of.
They never see this coming. I did not see this coming. What? Flakes. Okay. At the moment, I'm married to Jesus.
Wow.
But yeah, so at the moment, actually, we're not sure. I'm very single, very searching.
Wow! You guys heard it here first. Glory to God. He's searching, like actually searching. Please, you know what to do if you are interested.
Do the needful.
And you should just slide into his DM. Like, it's not even hard. And you should know that guaranteed laughs for life. Plus, you never have to take your kids to hospital. Come on now. Like, I don't have to say too much.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. All right. But thank you so much
Flakes.
for indulging us. And, thank you for all the great tips that you shared.
Anytime.
If you're not following him, go follow him. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for, because the content that I'm releasing this season, you guys are not ready for it. And, I've had so many amazing guests, and there are going to be more, so you don't want to miss it. So subscribe, like, share, send it to your friends, send it to your enemies, send it to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, send it to everybody. Send it to everybody. And see you in the next episode.